One of my most profound areas of research has been on identity work. So I thought today we could talk about identity work in leadership, and this is where I've actually spent much of my research and practice. And it's one of the most overlooked drivers of how leaders actually show up. For a long time, we believed something very simple about leadership, that leaders are born and not made. And you probably heard that. Early leadership research actually supported this, which is a little crazy. And this dates all the way back to like this Industrial Revolution era, right? Which was even referenced as this great man theory, the work of Thomas Carl. This idea that great leaders had something so inherent in them, right? They were very charismatic. They were very intelligent. They had this presence, something others just didn't have. And if you didn't have it, you weren't the leader. But over time research started to challenge that. The thinking shifted from who leaders are to what leaders do. Leadership wasn't just something you were born with, it became something you could actually develop. And then research realized it's not just about behavior either. Leadership depends on the situation and what that moment requires, situation leadership. This is when we hear a lot about leadership styles, which have been studied greatly and continue to actually evolve even up to today. But here's why I love identity work, especially the work of like Harman Ibrock, because leadership it's not just about traits, it's not just about behavior. It's really about this identity thing, identity. Leaders become who they are through their experience, right? Through their stretch roles, through their feedback, through moments that challenge, how they see themselves, which means this, okay? So if you've never examined your leadership identity, you're not leading intentionally, right? You're leading from default, this place of default. And default isn't always like this neutral place. Default is, how you were led maybe before, what was rewarded in your career, the environment that actually shaped you. And here's an example, okay? If you are under pressure, which means almost daily now, you don't pause and choose how you lead, you actually react. You repeat what's familiar even when it's not effective anymore. And that's why identity work is so important, because until you define who you are as a leader, something else will define it for you.